What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video I am going to be discussing 10 undefeated fighters in the UFC right now and talking about who I think is the person that has the potential to beat them. Now some of them will have multiple, some of them will have less people or just really no confident picks, but who might have a chance of beating them. But yeah, for most of these guys I do have at least one person in mind that I believe has the potential to take their O. I'll be talking about roughly when I think these guys are going to become not undefeated as well, when I think they are going to suffer their first loss. So yeah, we got 10 fighters. Let me know. There's heaps of other undefeated fighters I could do for this kind of video. If you want to see a part 2, let me know in the comments. But other than that, like, subscribe, follow my Instagram, all that shit. And yeah, we're going to get into the video, starting off with the first prospect, or the first undefeated fighter in the bantamweight division. Now, right out the gate here, we got Umna. 18-0, probably going to fight Merab for the bantamweight title soon. Now, is Merab the guy to beat Umna? I'm not sure. I think he has a good chance, because I think we've learned with Merab, it really doesn't matter how good you are in any other areas. He's just going to EPO you and win. So unless Umar is also on roids, which wouldn't surprise me, just because Dagestani, yes, that's the reason. Then I don't know, because Merab, just who's out cardioing Merab? Like, Umar had a decent pace against Sandhagen, but it was like a pretty, like, that was not a crazy paced fight. He wasn't gassed by the end of it, but like, he held a pretty insane pace against Beksat and then was fucking gassed by the end of that fight. So I don't know how Umar's cardio is, if it's not as good, if he's not able to kind of be pressured for that long, because I don't know, does he finish Merab? Like, because if Umar doesn't finish Merab, then what, you think he's going to win across 5 rounds? Like, I don't think people win across 5. I don't think people win decisions against Merab. It doesn't happen. So I think Umar would have to catch him, and I don't think Umar, his striking is good, but I don't think he's just got that KO power to just sleep Merab, and I don't think he's going to submit Merab. So I actually kind of think Merab could beat Umar. Now maybe Umar just outdoes him across the distance, just kind of mixes in his own takedowns, but I just don't think you can keep up with Merab's pace for that long. So we could see Umar lose his O in his next fight. The other guys that could do it, Yan is probably a second best chance, I would say, just in terms of he's got good wrestling. He does struggle with guys who shoot takedowns on him and can get back control. I don't think Umar's like back control is that good. Like, I think he could take down Yan. But again, Yan makes the reads as the fight goes on. He gets better further into the fight. So I think Yan could probably stuff some of those takedowns. And I think Yan is a better striker. But Umar's also very big. So Yan might struggle with the size. That's another one. And O'Malley, I've just got him here for the KO potential. I think out of everyone in the division, he's the only guy that could potentially KO Umar. Maybe like a Figgy, maybe a Song Yadong. But no, I think Sean O'Malley's the guy who could catch him and finish him, but other than that, I think Merab and Yan are two guys that could potentially outdo him across 25 minutes. Anyway, let's move on to another undefeated fighter. Now, next up, we got Peyton Talbot, 9-0 right now, booked to fight Ioni Barcelos on UFC 311 in January. When's this guy going to lose? Because obviously it would be, like, I'm not going to limit the amount of guys who could beat him to, like, 3 opponents. So I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, he would lose to Merab and Umar and stuff, because I think we all kind of know that. I think that would happen. I think from at least now, like, if we're saying, right, if I'm saying, would he lose to these guys now? Yeah, he'd lose to probably most of the top 15 now. But I'm talking in general, like, if we're seeing how his career is going to go, he's going to beat Barcelos, he's going to go 10-0. He's probably going to have I could see them giving him a ranked guy after that, or maybe like a Munoz outside the rankings, maybe a Rob Font, one of those guys. I think he can beat Rob Font. I think Rob Font's easy enough for him to kind of catch and chin maybe. But people forget, man, this guy got taken down and like lost the first round to Nick Aguirre. I have to kind of emphasize the space in between those two names, because otherwise it's trouble. But yeah, like, he got taken down and out wrestled and lost a round. So I don't know, like, this dude could potentially be in for a fucking wrestling fraud check of like, he just gets taken down and out grappled, maybe. I know he won that fight by submission, but I don't want you to be getting an entire round of ground control against you. Like, that's not good. So I'm talking to guys in the rankings who could fraud check him, that they might put him up against. I'm thinking like a Sandhagen. I'm thinking like a Song Yadong. I'm thinking a Yan, obviously. I do think he would lose to Merab and Umar. I think a Figgy would beat him. But I'm talking fights where I think he might get. Like, I don't think this guy's going to get a Figgy fight. I don't think he's going to get a fucking Sean O'Malley fight, for now at least. But I think I could see him get like a Rob Font if he beats Barcelos, and then after a Rob Font, maybe they try and give him like a Song Yadong. I think that's where he might struggle and lose, because Song is very good. I think Song Yadong would beat him even in a few years' time. Unless this guy just levels up tenfold, he does have the potential to do so. I'm not going to be the major Peyton Talbot like hype train fucking glazer. I don't hate the guy. I don't think he's bad by any means. I think he'll be top 10. But I'm talking guys who I think can beat him. Like, I don't think this dude's just going to fucking be undefeated for his whole career. I think that would be kind of delusional to think that. So, yeah, I think these kind of guys that I've got on screen, and some of those other guys, even like, but the thing is, bantamweight doesn't have that many crazy wrestlers outside, like, the top, like, 5. Like, Marab and Umar are going to be trouble, but who else? Like, Cheeto? I honestly think he can beat Cheeto. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with Talbot, if he looks mid or if he looks really good against Barcelos. But for now, I'm not going to be like the pump the brakes guy, but I'm also not going to be the guy who's like, oh yeah, bro, this guy would fucking beat O'Malley, bro. Like, that's just retarded. So Talbot, same with Bo Nickel, or not the exact same, but like, you got to slow him. You can't just chuck him in there with fucking like Figgy now or Like, if you chuck him in, if he beats, God forbid, if we see the same thing that happened with Umar, go from fucking Barcelos to Sandhagen. I know Umar did have the Bexat fight, but the original booking of the Sandhagen fight was just coming off the Barcelos win. So this guy's going to KO Barcelos and get a Corey Sandhagen fight. If that happens, I will be picking Corey Sandhagen. But for now, I think he can get some wins. I think he'll probably get to like 13-0 maybe, and then he'll probably take a loss. We'll see what happens though. Payne Talbot, future seems bright, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Anyway, let's move on to the featherweight division. Next up, featherweight division, Ilya Aptoro. Slap the nails off him. Ilya Aptoro, I don't know if this guy's going to lose, to be honest. Like, there's 3 guys that could beat him. It's Islam at lightweight, obviously. I think that's the main one. But if you're looking at featherweight, like, I would love to say Volk's going to fucking school him and win, but I just don't think it's going to happen. I would love to say, like, Lopez could catch him. Just don't think it's going to happen. I don't want Movzar to win. I would pick Ilya against Movzar and be happy if he won. I'd like Movzar out-grapple him, maybe. Gene Silva, maybe. But like right now, there's just no one at featherweight that's like, yeah, this dude beats Ilya. Or like has a really good chance. Like Lopez is like, yeah, he could catch him. Volk's like, yeah, he could do alright. Movzar, oh yeah, he could take him down a few times. I think Islam is the only fight where we're like, okay, this dude is not just guaranteed to fucking KO this man. Like that's the one fight with Ilya where I'm like, okay, I got to do some tape study. I got to really get into the nitty gritty and figure out who I'm picking, because I don't know, Ilya just doesn't seem like he's losing. I think this dude's gonna get to like 20, unless he fights Islam like in his next like 2 fights or something. Like if he fights Volk and then just goes up and fights Islam, which I don't think he will do, but if he fights Volk, I think that's 17-0. Is he 15-0 now? 16-0, I think now. If he fights Volk, that's 17. Lopez 18. Like a Movzar, that'll be 19. And then maybe he goes up. That'll be 4 defenses. I think that's excusable to then go up to lightweight, give him an Islam at that. But even Islam might have already left and gone to welterweight at that point. So maybe we got a new lightweight champ. So if he goes up and fights like an Oliveira or like an Arman, so you can for the belt or one of those guys. Like if Islam beats Arman and just dips up to fucking welterweight, and then we just do like Arman versus Oliveira for like a vacant belt or something, and Oliveira or Arman wins, I think Ilya would beat either of those 2 guys, in my opinion. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with Ilya Aptoro. I'm not confident this guy loses for at least a few more fights. And again, he's like 27. This dude's coming into his prime. It's fucking retarded. The whole division's cooked. Let's move on, though, to the next prospect. Sorry, I'm just saying prospect. Undefeated fighter is what I should say. Movzar Evluev. This dude, Sneeko Maxa. Brother, I was 22, she was 17. It's okay. Religion allows it. Alhamdulillah. Aisha was 6, brother. It's okay. Sorry. Movzar. I don't know. I think this guy would lose to, I think, anyone he fights after Aljo. I don't think this guy is maintaining his own past the Aljo fight. Lopez, I think, beats him in a rematch. Volk, I think, beats him. Ilya beats him. And I think those are the 3 guys that he would fight. Like, he's not going to fight fucking Ortega. He's not. If he fights Yair next, he'll beat Yair, I think. But if he fights either Volk, Lopez, or Ilya next, he's losing. So that's my very firm stance on Movzar. I think he's going to beat Aljo. I think he's too big. He's too slow and too stiff. But no, I think he's going to be too big, too physical for Aljo. But after that, I do believe that he is going to lose his next fight. So yeah, that's my opinion on Movsar. No personal issue with the guy. Like, genuinely, I just don't think he's going to win past that. I don't think Movsar Evloev is going to be a UFC champion. Anyway, I think he lost to Allen. So yeah. Anyway, let's move on though to another fighter. We are skipping lightweight because although it is an incredible division, there really aren't that many prospects. There really aren't that many undefeated fighters. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not giving you a breakdown of Narulo Aliev. But welterweight division, let's move on up. We got Michael Morales. Now, I think Michael Morales is very good. I think he's got potential. He's got good potential, you know. But he's a good guys. But he's 25, so again, good potential. But he also, I don't think he's that good. I think his striking is just unbelievably mid. Like, yeah, he caught Magny with a spinning elbow on the break from a clinch exchange, because he was just getting kind of held against the clinch by Magny. Like, I'm sorry, I know you won the fight by first round TKO. I'm gonna need that fight to just look less iffy for like any moments. Like, I'm gonna need you to not look iffy at any point against Dil Magny. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to keep bringing him up. I do, but Carlos Prates, bro, my guy. I don't know if you know, this guy's pretty good. He did not have any moment of like, oh, Magny's kind of like fraud tricking him here against the cage a little bit. Like, oh, no way, we're in for 15 minutes of Magny cage control. Then obviously he caught him, but like, I don't know. It remains to be seen. Who's this guy going to fight next? I'm not sure. I think he said he had fight news coming soon. If I'm not mistaken. He's probably going to fight like I could see a Jeff Neal fight, maybe. I could see like who could I see? I could see them going Gilbert Burns. That's one I think he would beat Burns. But I think the guys like JDM, the guys like Prates, the guys like, I even think he might be too physical for JDM, but like Prates, I think beats him. I think Shavkat, obviously, Bilal. Even Leon, I'm not sure, just because Leon does kind of allow himself to be sort of physicalityed around a bit. So I'm not sure. But yeah, I do think Morales, as of right now, if he fights one of these guys next, like if he fights a JDM, I doubt it. But if he does, I think he's losing. If he fights a Prates, I think he's losing. If he fights like a Sean Brady, I think that's probably a difficult matchup for him. But yeah, I don't know. He's good. He's physical. But like, again, I don't know. It's just, I still haven't been like wowed by Michael Morales. Like, decisions over Jake Matthews and Max Griffin, like, I'm gonna need you to finish Jake Matthews, buddy. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. The next fighter is Ian Machado Gatti. Now, Shavkat, Carlos Prates, and JDM are the three guys that I'd be like most confident in beating him. Now, the reason I don't have Bilal there is because I think if they fought right now, I probably would favour Bilal to win. But I also think it's like, okay, well, if Ian beats Shavkat, I would then pick Ian Gary to beat Shavkat. But it's like, right now, I'm going in terms of who this guy could fight. Like, he's going to, like, right now, he's going to, and also, if he does fight Bilal, I think Bilal's going to just be a little bit past his best, past his use-by date, you know. Bilal's career, you know, it's a ticking time bomb. Like, we just don't know when he's going to just go. Like, no pun intended. But, like, I don't know, guy might just show up washed in his first title defense. We don't know. He is 36. So, I don't know. He's fighting Shavkat next. I think he's going to lose. I do think Shavkat beats him. If he fought a Prates, I do think he's a little pea-head. He's getting chinned, bro. And if he fought a JDM, I do rate JDM. And I don't think JDM is, like, amazing. Like, I have been kind of being a bit of the pump the brakes guy on JDM, especially saying, like, you got to be KOing Basil Hafez, buddy. Like, I'm sorry. First 3 wins in the UFC against guys who are no longer with the promotion. Randy Brown win was good, and apart from that, Holland's decision kind of lackluster. I'm not saying you have to KO Holland, but like, please use Holland as a punching bag for 3 rounds and tune him up, and don't let him have any moments. And please, like, KO Gilbert Burns with a jab inside 2 rounds. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know. Maybe I'm just underrating JDM's opponents. But I don't know. I'm Australian. I don't want to root against this guy. And I'm not rooting against him, but I also can't help but be like, I'm just waiting for this dude to get, like, just out-grappled or, like, beaten up on the feet, because he's actually not able to just box and body shot merchant people. Like, I don't know. But I do think Ian Gary would lose to him. Again, I just think his boxing's a bit crisper, but even that is a close fight. I don't know. But yeah, Prates, Shavkat, Bilal, these kind of guys I do think would beat Ian Machado Gary. Can't believe I have to call him Machado. I don't, but Ian Cuck Gary. Yeah, I think he would lose to most of the guys in the top 5. I think he beats Colby. I think Buckley was a close fight. I was probably going to lean Buckley, but yeah. And I don't know, apart from that, It kind of varies. I think he would probably beat Osman right now if they fought. Prime Usman obviously would beat him. But yeah, Usman right now, I think I'd pick Ian. I think I'd pick him right now against Leon as well, to be honest. I think Ian is solid. I think under most circumstances, if he was fighting anyone else but Shavkat for this interim, or not interim, but like for this fight, he's probably getting a title shot. And he could manage to somehow beat Bilal. Just because apparently this dude's grappling is good, and we haven't really seen him taken down. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Ian Gary. Anyway, let's move on to another undefeated fighter at welterweight. Well, next up, we move from the guy who I think would beat Ian Gary to... Well, we move to the guy who I think would beat Ian Gary, is what I should have said. Shavkat Rakhmonov. Who beats this guy? I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't even know the guy, to be honest. I just showed up. But Shavkat... I think Hamzat at welterweight, at middleweight, has a very good chance to beat him just with the size and the strength. And again, we haven't seen someone really like push takedowns against Shavkat. Like, I want to see someone try and wrestle him, but on the feet, I also do think this guy is like open to a random KO. Like, I think we might see Shavkat just building so much aura, and everyone's like, yeah, this dude's not losing, and then he just gets slept. Maybe JDM could catch him, I'm not sure, but like, again, Prates, bro, I'm telling you. Jump on the train. Jump on the CP hype train. Pause. But no, I think Shavkat is very solid. I struggle to pick someone confidently against him, to be honest. But I do think Prates would put up a decent fight. And from what I've heard from some sources, is apparently they tried to offer the fight to Prates, but he couldn't accept it. Well, no, he accepted it, but then they found out that he broke his foot before the Magny fight. So they're like, no, you're not doing it on it. You're not running an entire training camp on a broken foot. Just chill. But apparently, if he was healthy, they were going to give him that fight. That's what I originally was like, oh, they're going to do Gary versus Shavkat, and they were trying to find someone for Buckley. I thought that's what it was. Apparently, don't quote me on this, but apparently they were trying to give it Prates versus Shavkat, which would have been crazy. We'll see that fight down the line, though, I do think, and that'll be a pretty cool fight. Prates' takedown defense, I'm not sure how good it is, but even Shavkat's offensive wrestling is kind of, like, not amazing. Like, yeah, I know he was injured against Wonderboy, but, like, he's not taking down Jeff Neal that much. He's not really taking down a lot of the guys he's fighting. Like, once he's on the ground, I think he's great. Like, his jiu-jitsu is sick. But his wrestling, in my opinion, is not, like, elite level. Like, it's good, but it's not, like... He's not, like, the best wrestler in the division. So I think this guy is open to a potential, like, striking kind of schooling. Like, if he does get kept on the feet, don't be surprised if Ian Gary just beats him. Don't be surprised if Prates KOs him or JDM catches him and finishes him with, like, a body shot. Like, I do think this guy is open to being kind of masterclassed or, like, just kind of exposed a bit on the feet. Because he does look mid at moments and you're like, oh, I bet he subbed him. Cool. But I do think there is a good potential that he gets just takedown stuffed and he gets beaten up on the feet for 3 rounds. That's what I could see happening. I do think he beats Bilal. Bilal's a potential to beat him, good potential. But apart from that, I don't know. Shavkat, again, he's very good. So I'm not going to try and be like, no, everyone else at welterweight sucks except for Carlos Prates. Like, no, all of them. He's got holes as well in his game. But yeah, Shavkat, very good. I struggle to confidently pick someone to beat him, but if I was trying to find someone, these would probably be the guys. Anyway, let's move on to the next undefeated fighter. Next up, middleweight division, Hamzat Chimaev, Boars, 14-0. I don't, again, even more so than Shavkat, I struggle to find someone that I would confidently, if I'm matching up odds for all the potential fights for Hamzat, I'm like, he's over -200 in pretty much all of them, except maybe a Dricus fight. And even Dricus does have the potential to getting subbed early, I feel like, or just taken down early. Because yes, he's physical, but I'm sorry, this dude pulled bottom side control. I can't be confident in your grappling if you're getting taken down and pulling by Brunson and pulling bottom side control against Tavares. Come on. But I'm gonna need you to be stuffing Brunson's takedowns if you're gonna beat Hamzat. Just a hot take, maybe. Maybe it's a crazy take, but I think maybe Hamzat's a better wrestler than Brunson. Maybe a crazy take, but I don't know. Maybe Fluffy Hernandez could beat him with cardio if he can survive early. Fluffy has been subbed though in round 2, I think, by that Perez dude. Who else could beat him? Shavkat, maybe. I guess it kind of goes both ways. That's a fight we need to see down the line, especially if they're both undefeated at the time of booking it. And then, yeah, Dricus is just the champion right now, so I put him there because that'll probably be Hamzat's next fight. Strickland, I think he would just run through. I think Strickland would just be a bit too weak early. And And Izzy, I think he'd run through Whitaker. We saw that. Baralio. Could see Baralio doing decent, but yeah, I don't know. Hamza, I do think this guy's going to just be too good for a lot of guys, to be honest. Anyway, let's move on to another fighter. Shara Magomedov. Now, we have a lot of options here because I don't think this guy's that good. Before his debut, before the Bruno Silva fight, I've been saying I'm waiting to pick against this dude. I'm just waiting. I'm biding my time for them to give him just the right opponent for me. Like, nah, you're done, Chief. You're cooked. Like, it's over for you, buddy. Pack it up. So Shara. I'm not a casual, guys. What's the time? 3:30 a.m. Yeah, it's 3:30 a.m. I'm recording this video. Why I'm getting no sleep. But yeah, Shara. I think he's gonna lose to MVP. That's his next fight. I do think MVP can outdo him. If it's 3, I don't know how this guy's gonna go 5. It remains to be questioned. Also, MVP does seem a bit chinny, maybe. So we'll see what happens there. But if he doesn't lose, if he beats MVP, which is a great win to be fair, that would prove that he's a much better striker than I thought. Like, I know he's a good striker, but I still think he's kind of open to being exposed on the feet as well. But in the grappling wise, like we're looking at Delidzi, Hermanson, Fluffy, Allen, fucking Strickland, Drickus, all these guys. Like, Izzy is like unironically his most competitive fight in like the top 10. Just because he's the only guy that's not going to wrestle him. Like, maybe he could just use Vittori as a punching bag. Or maybe Cannonier's just too far past it. But, like, genuinely, is this a hot take? Or a retarded... Maybe not even a hot take. This is 3 a.m. left lane just being retarded. But am I wrong in saying that Izzy is, like, his best matchup in the top 10? Maybe. Just because, like, who else? Like, Hermanson's just going to wrestle him. Vittori's going to wrestle him. Like, I'm talking if they all fight smart... And if they all fight by like their potential game plan, like, yes, potentially Izzy could wrestle, but like if we're going by what they actually sometimes do in fights, Izzy never wrestles offensively in fights unless it's against Pereira. So to be fair, I would pick Izzy to beat him, but like if we're matchmaking odds for like Shara versus the top 15, I'm saying like apart from like Michel Pereira if he's still ranked for some reason, then I think that's a decently competitive fight for Shara. But, like, Izzy would probably be, like, a minus 200 with his, like, I think, like, Whitaker, Drickus. Drickus would be, like, minus 500 against this dude, in my opinion. Shara, I don't think he's very good. I think he's going to lose, like, if he doesn't lose to MVP next, he's going to lose as soon as they fucking give this guy a grappler. They're probably going to give him Whitaker and just hope Whitaker doesn't wrestle and gets chinned on the feet. That'll be my guess. They'll probably do another fucking Abu Dhabi main event. Anyway, that'll do it for Shara. Let's move on, though, to the last fighter to discuss. Oh, Nickel, you're cooked, buddy. You're losing your next fight if it's anyone good. But I don't think it will be anyone good because I think the UFC's smart. So Bot Nickel, just the most fucking... I don't know what... Like, you're not relatable, buddy. I'm sorry. We can't relate... I'm going to steal this from bedtime. We can't relate to you fucking... Your stories of picking berries and climbing mountains, bro. Like, no one believes that the UFC asked you to fight Whitaker and Shawn. No one believes you. And you would have got schooled. So you're probably lucky if they did offer that. You're very lucky you didn't accept. But, like, you know you're cooked when Dana White goes, but, yeah, Bo Nickel, he needs some work. I'll be honest. It was a fucking shit performance. We'll get back in there in the matchmaking meeting on Tuesday, kid, and we'll figure out what's next for him. But, yeah, no rush. He's a young kid. He's 7-0. He's got a lot of time. So, if you gave him, like, Whitaker, he's going to get fucking schooled. Like, that would go badly. So, Bo Nickel, gotta take the time with this kid. So, yeah, Bo Nickel, I think this guy would lose to pretty much anyone except... I think Shara's, like, the top 15 guy he would comfortably beat. Everyone else, I'm struggling. Like, everyone else, I'm like, if this dude is anything more than, like, minus 200, I'm laying money on their opponent. Like, maybe Vittori's just retarded and gets tagged up.Maybe Cannonier's just cooked. But, like, Cannonier, Hermanson, Allen, Delidzi might just be retarded. Allen I don't like, so he's dumb, but like a Mavov schooling this dude, like he's not even close to top 5, let alone like he's not even close to like top 10, let alone top 5. Even top 15 is a stretch. Like Michel Pereira's maybe competitive, but I think Bo Nickel, just the least relatable man on planet Earth, except for probably John Jones. I don't know, but like Bo Nickel, like get out of here. You're not. Also, GSP went to a decision, guys. Like Mighty Mouse, Khabib, all these guys go to. What do you want me to do? Just knock everyone out? Like I kind of want you to knock. Yes, I do want you to knock out Paul Craig, because I hate to break it to you, buddy. If Anderson Silva's fighting Paul Craig, Anderson Silva goes decisions, guys. If Anderson Silva's fighting Paul Craig, he's gonna fucking sleep him in the first. Like Volkan Ozdemir took him to a decision. But, like, apart from that, like, Johnny Walker fucking KO'd this dude. Like, if Johnny Walker, who's prone to getting chinned, is just sleeping him in round 1 and making us think he's on a fucking resurgence, yeah, you got to be KOing that guy. Like, Val Woodburn, Jamie Pickett, I've been saying again, I have been calling for a Bonical fraud check. I thought he was a bit better than he showed out to be, but, like, Brundage, Jamie Pickett, Val Woodburn, bombs. Like, I'm sorry, buddy, you're done. You're done for. Anyway, that'll do it, guys. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, follow my Instagram, Left Lane MMA, Twitter, I think it's the same thing. But yeah, peace out, guys. Drop some other video ideas you guys want to see. Drop a yes or no if you guys want to see predict like a quick picks video for this China card. I just cannot be pronounced 20 minutes of Jing Zhongji or fucking Bahu Ho. Like, I just cannot be asked. Yeah, it's 4 a.m. I'm gonna go to bed. Good night.